Here's a brief introduction to audio tools in Final Cut Pro. So we'll start with this book that was recorded by someone else called Where is the Green Sheep? And you can see down here the audio is below and the video is above. But sometimes the video's too small, so we might want to change it differently. So I come over here to this icon, and then these different choices show how much video versus audio. So if I go here, the audio is much bigger and the video is smaller. If you want no video at all, you can switch there. So I'll keep it here. And then there's some zoom options that you can have to zoom in or out or make them taller and so on. Next, if you want to zoom in or out, I usually use the Command plus and Command minus. So Command plus zooms in so I can see more detail, especially where the end of a phrase is, and Command minus makes it smaller, and Shift Z sets it so you can see the whole video. To mute the audio, I usually just mute the whole track. So while a track is selected, I might hit the letter V, and that mutes the whole thing, and you'll see it'll work well when we have different sections. Often we want to detach the audio from the video, so to do that I'm going to right click and then say detach audio, or it's Option Shift S. And now the two tracks don't care at all about each other. You could adjust them. Next, you might want to select a range to adjust the audio. So I come over here from the arrow tool to the range selection, and I can select a certain range. And what's nice about a range in audio is if I come to the middle, I can then add those control points to make a certain section softer or louder, or you can actually move the one individual control point later. I'll show you in a minute how to make your own. I'm going to undo that for a second. If I want to fade in and out of a clip, which is very common, I'm coming to the very beginning, there's a little control point right here, and you'll see it changes two arrows, left, right, and I can do a fade in or out. And there's one at the end as well. To add keyframes to a section, I like to go to this line here, click on the Option key, then you can see the little plus, and you can add as many control points as you want. And once you have a control point, you can move it left or right or up or down. So you just need the right number of control points to get what you want, especially like if you clear your throat or something just before a sentence, you can clear that out. Probably the best tool to use is the blade tool for this. So as you come to each section of your voice, you might want to break it into sections. So that's called the blade tool, or B key. I'm going to go back to the select tool and show you how I do it. If I hold down the B key, then it blades. I still have the B key down, but as soon as I let go, it's back to whatever tool I was in before. Now this is its own section. I can hide it or move it or just adjust the volume of that one section, and we'll learn later how to add effects. Let me add a few more blade sections. You can see why. Those are just random. So I want to move around. Instead of always coming up to the top timeline to scroll around, you can use the arrow down keys. I'm hitting the down arrow key, it goes to the next cut point, and if I use the up arrow, it goes back to the one before. There are some play options. Of course, spacebar allows you to play.
And here is the bed sheet.
So you can hit the spacebar to play, but sometimes you want to hear one section over and over again. A good trick for that is here under playback, there's an option called play around, and it's Shift ? So that's on the right side of your keyboard, and if I hit that,
and here is the bed sheet.
It keeps repeating.
But where is, and here is the bed sheet.
So if I hit the spacebar to stop, so if I hit Shift ? It plays that loop section over and over again, and that works really well for hearing a section over and over again as you make adjustments to it.